Planning Beats is built for DJs, so it is actually a CRM and event planning tool.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Groove Junction. Welcome aboard. My name's DJ Matty F. I almost forgot my name there. My name's DJ Matty F, and I'm alongside my co-presenter, the main man himself, Mr. John Colley. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Yeah. How about you? You good?
I've been good, man. I've been good.
You sound very cheerful.
Listen, you know I'm always cheerful when I have to speak to you on a Monday night when we do the recording, John.
But it does take a very quick downward slope, doesn't it?
Yeah, 30 seconds normally, and that's where we're at within the podcast. And then we go out a little bit. But no, it's good to be chatting with you again, another episode. But thank you everyone for joining us on this 36th episode of the Groove Junction, and we've got another guest coming on. But before we get into that guest, we are gonna hit the rundown, which is thank you very much, Pro Mobile Magazine, that have sponsored the rundown.
The Groove Junction rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews, they feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code, GroovePMSUB, for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile, for sponsoring the rundown. So, John, let's run down. What have you been up to?
This week?
Yeah. We talk about this week.
Yeah, this week. I did a children's Easter party on Monday.
Nice.
Which it was, you know what? It was really good. It was really good. I mean, it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
On Easter Monday, did you say?
No, it was an Easter disco on Monday. We haven't even got to Easter Monday yet.
No, it's what I'm working out. I'm just thinking, where are we?
So obviously it's half term, isn't it? So like, all the kids are off. So what they do is they open up this hall, and the organizer has like different tables with activities where they can colour bits and pieces in. And then I'm the DJ, and then we do some singing and dancing and this, that, and the other. And it was really good. It had a really good turnout. It was good that the weather was nice as well, which I think is why we had so many people turn out for it. There's about 100 people there in total. It's good fun. Yeah, really good fun. Enjoyed it. And that was, apart from going to Heathrow on Tuesday, that's pretty much all I've done there really this week. But that and admin, a bit of admin. Bit of admin, look on the old CRM, sort a few bits and pieces out, couple of leads.
Yeah, these are these things you have to get onto.
Got to do it, mate. Got to do it.
Fester.
No, you can't. You got to answer them emails. I mean, I had quite a few inquiries over the weekend, so I answered all of them. Good. And hopefully something will come of it. What about yourself?
Lovely stuff. Silent disco up in Coventry Cathedral.
Nice.
3 sessions of 900 people per session for a his only night. DJ Just James and DJ Sophie Lou on the bill with myself. Yeah, it was a good night. That's the 4th one now we've done at Coventry Cathedral over the last 3.5 years, and it was a really another good night. They never disappoint up in Coventry. They never disappoint.
They know how to party, don't they, out there?
Oh, they know how to party.
They know how to party.
They know how to party. But no, it was good. It was a good night, and yeah, that's all I had, and it was just sort of chill time, really, with the family after that. But yeah, all good, man.
Wicked.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the rundown. Not really much.
Bit of a slow week, really, isn't it?
Well, with school holidays and the Easter weekend fast approaching, yeah, it has dropped off a little bit for me.
Yeah, I must admit. I mean, I haven't had many parties over this half term. I did take the boy Top Golf. Have you ever been Top Golf?
Yeah, I do like a bit of golf.
Oh, you're a bit of a good golfer, though, aren't you? You're quite good at
Yeah.
that, ain't you?
Well, why did you even bring? You just
Yeah,
thought of it.
no, I've just remembered that. Yeah, is it your dad does golf as well?
Lives on a golf course.
Lives on a golf, yeah. So for me, playing Top Golf, just getting it off the tee was an accomplishment. I was like right happy with myself.
We
But
got
the
any
top,
video of that?
no, you got the ball falling down the net, which is like 2 foot in front of the pad. Yeah, but there's no good talking to you about that because I wouldn't want to play Top Golf with you because I would never win.
Yeah, that's very true. You wouldn't.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't, mate. I definitely wouldn't. But yeah, no, that was good fun. Yeah, a bit of quality time with the kids. Nice.
Love that. Well, that completes the rundown. Thank you, Pro Mobile, for sponsoring this week's The Rundown. As always, we're going to get into it, John, because we've got a guest lined up.
Love this guy.
Yeah, this should be a good little chat. So, John, I will see you
after the break.
Please welcome to this week's The Groove Junction, Mr. Dan Ross, everybody. Welcome,
Hello.
Dan. How you doing, mate? Oh, where's my applause button? Yeah, I always get the applause button late. I need to work on that.
You've got to push one button. It's always got to push one button.
You pushed enough of my buttons, mate. I'm telling you that much for sure. Dan.
And you. It was last time I saw you was down at the retreat. So yeah, nice to see you.
It was in a bedroom, wasn't it?
It was in a bedroom. Doing this in some very technical form. I liked it. It was an enjoyable experience.
We weren't going to bring that up, gents, but literally within 20 seconds of the podcast, we're talking about us meeting in a bedroom in the New Forest at the Pro Mobile Focus and Retreat. Anyway, before we get deep into not the bedroom stuff that we did at the Pro Mobile, but we need to talk about you, Dan. And Dan Ross is Mr. Discos. All the way down in Gloucestershire in the UK.
I know, I nabbed the right name for the area, didn't I?
You've kept yourself very tight in the Gloucestershire area, obviously. But Dan, thanks for coming on. We've got a number of things we want to talk to you about. And we're going to talk about your time as a mobile DJ and what you're doing now. You alluded off air that you did a little bit of multi-op stuff before you just gone into just purely the party, the wedding, the DJing side of things alone. And then we've got some other bits that we want to talk to you about. Your new venture, Planning Beats, which we'll get really deep into as this conversation goes on. But Dan, thanks for jumping on tonight and recording with us, The Groove Junction.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Dan, you, like John alluded to, that we last met you down at the New Forest in the bedroom. You kindly enough did our operating and did our controls for the podcast that were recorded with DJ 247 and DJ Funky T a few weeks back, which was great. So thanks very much. So it was only a matter of time that we sort of dragged you back in, and you are the guest.
Yeah, I know. This is nice. I must admit, it was a really enjoyable experience actually watching it unfold in person and pressing lots of buttons with video. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, which part were you impressed with? How drunk we all were by the end of the night, or
the bottle of whiskey that was up here and full, and we were guaranteeing only a little bit, and I think within 15 to 20 minutes it had halved in volume. So I mean, that was impressive.
We did hit that whiskey pretty hard, to be fair.
We all had a bit of a taste for it that night. But it was only a matter of time that we got you on, Dan. So Dan, when did your DJing career sort of take off? What was the catalyst for you?
It's always a bit of an odd one. I've always, whenever I've discussed it with others, it's always been like a parent or some sort of person has influenced them. And I worked mine out, and it was at my after school club when I was about 12 years old. They had a DJ come in, and I really liked the kind of flashy lights and the fact that he was playing some music. And I started doing it from about 12 years old then. So little family events with the old surround sound system, the proper ones with like 7 speakers, nicking that out the living room and doing some family events. And then at about 13, maybe 14, my dad fully gave me £1,000 on the proviso that I produce a business plan and tell him how I'm going to earn it back. And that was DM Discos, which was a children's party company where I just stood out the front like a fool, did the actions backwards with the kids, headset mic, very Butlins type thing. So yeah, that was the beginning of
And it obviously
the journey.
worked. It obviously worked for you.
I ended up doing all the school discos, and it taught me a lot about email communication, business communication. I was speaking to head teachers of schools that I wasn't a part of. So it made me have to speak to adults very quickly and understand invoicing, emails, all this type of stuff. So gave me a good foot in to then go and launch Gloucester Discos later on.
Nice little head start for you.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Dad didn't enjoy it though. He had to ferry me around everywhere, but
that's what they're there for. That's exactly what they're there for.
Dad's taxi.
So yeah,
and I know truly how that feels because I feel like I'm John's taxi every week wherever we go.
To be fair, yeah, you are. He's more of a chauffeur. More of a chauffeur.
Chauffeur. See, look.
Yeah, chauffeur.
Even though I'm the oldest.
Did see you that actually worked together very nicely a few weeks ago, actually, on the headphone disco.
Silent disco.
Oh, silent disco.
Yeah. Silent disco. So both of you back to back. Nice.
We do a few of them.
Yeah, we do a few.
John.
Well, you know, I kind of I look at it as help the aged. You know what? I go along and I help Matt out. You know what I mean? I'm kind of, you know, I'm helping him out.
Provide some wisdom.
Anyway, we've derailed this conversation already. So when did you then decide to take the jump and go, right, I'm going to launch Gloucestershire Discos?
Around about 17, I want to say 16 or 17. Okay. So I stopped DM discos just as I came up to my GCSEs and started going out with some local wedding DJs in the area, and that really helped me understand how adult parties worked. I didn't know Motown, I didn't know 70s disco and all those types of genres, so it really helped me understand music. And I was lucky that he had quite a cool rig, so he was using Martin audio, Martin lighting, so it was all quite high-end stuff, big hump balls and things like that. So I got to kind of experience some stuff. And then the weird one is when I was about 17, maybe 18, on a sun lounger in Turkey, decided that I was going to buy my first rig. I just went, we're just going to do this. A friend of mine had a spare unit pop up. Do you want to go for it? And I went, yeah, all right, fine. I've always wanted to get back into it. Missed it for a few years. So yeah, sat on the sun lounger with my first holiday with the missus and spent quite a lot of money on kit with DJ kit, actually.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Nice little plug for DJ kit, now pro DJ kit. But yes, it's funny how sun loungers come into it. This is how I thought up doing this podcast with John. And you know what? It's probably one of the worst decisions I ever made. Anyway.
You know what? I mean, yeah, I've quit better jobs than this, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
You can only grow if you've got a little bit of time to think, haven't you? And we're all in everything, life. And I think it was just a pivotal moment for me where I realised I was a mechanic at the time and it was cold in the winter. And I spent a lot of money on tools. And it was like, I don't really want to be doing this forever. And just went, do you know what, let's do it. And bought some decent kit and have grown it from there.
What did you buy then? Tell everyone, tell the listeners and the viewers what you brought.
So I bought a Equinox DJ booth, the standard kind of Starlight one. I bought a black and white star cloth. They don't do the white star cloths anymore. Boo.
They don't.
Very sad about that. And some Martin Wizards. I've still got my Lamatry or Matry, I'm not sure how you say it, MVS Hazer from when I bought that way back then.
Yeah.
And a load of uplighting, I think, was where it all started. And then some Mackie, what are they, 450s, the originals on eBay, and a couple of the subs as well, which I very quickly blew up.
I have to admit, I mean, my first proper speakers were Mackie 300s, and they were punchy. I liked them. Yeah, I did like them.
I still use Mackies to this day.
Oh, really?
There you go.
They're nice.
I love them. They're bulletproof. I learned that you can just drop these things. They're not the best sounding on the planet. Don't get me wrong. You go and buy some Martin Audio or some Function One. Of course, it's going to sound a lot better, but it hits the market that I need to hit, and I love them. They're just bulletproof.
What you need.
Exactly that. So, so in the sense of, we touched on it just a minute ago about the multi-op stuff. So what did you start with the multi-op stuff originally?
So having just done that, I got back from said holiday and went, right, I need to find some work now.
Yeah.
And did kind of got the website up quite quickly and did a few gigs, but I actually emailed every hotel in the area, and potluck, one of them wanted a DJ. So I did their Christmas party for free, put in all the kit I had, went really well, and it was around the corner from my house. And the manager said, look, do you want the venue? The only thing is, like, Christmas time, we do 2 parties. We've actually can do 2 weddings at a time at this point, the venue was doing as well.
Right.
And it was like, I can't commit to that. And he said, look, if you just commit to at least one of the 2, we can find someone else, but why don't you use it as an opportunity to see if you want to grow your business? It was all a bit quick for me. I was like, I've only just kind of kicked back off with this, but did that, couple of close friends that DJ but didn't have kit. So my model was then go and buy a load more kit that looks exactly the same as the rig I've just bought. I ended up with 3 of them, and I would put them in and take them out of the venues, and the DJs would walk in. So I was getting
Plug and
club
play.
DJs. Yeah, plug and play. But it was hard. You imagine putting in 3 rigs and taking 3 rigs out, doing a gig yourself. The model was great for the DJs. It gave them a great opportunity to get regular work, and we did a 50-50 split, which I thought was relatively fair considering I was putting it all in and paying for all the rigs. But
very good. I work for you, Dan.
I couldn't sustain it. I was at a point where it was like, this is too much hard work. It doesn't make any business sense. And 3 or 4 years ago, I tripled my price, maybe doubled it, depending whether it was the hotel price or my private price. But went, look, I can't do this anymore. Left that hotel on good terms, but just said, look, this isn't for me anymore in this price bracket. Changed my rig dramatically and went up into the £800 mark. So £800 for a 5-hour performance, and that's now a much bigger show, big vertical jets, Cosmopod, 4 moving heads, pixel patterns, Martin Rush Wizards, Haze Machine, all just within that package, and me, and just me.
And Mr. Dan Ross at the same
Damn it, that's it. That's it.
I sell myself on my age, if I'm honest. That's my prime thing at the moment, is I'm 29, and that is the first thing you'll read on my website. Hi, I'm 29. I think I'm at my prime, because you can only use that for so long. So if you're that age, I think it's roughly the age that couples are at now, and use it to your advantage, because in 10 years' time, I'm going to have to be talking about experience. So I'm monopolizing on that at the moment.
Yeah, keep with the young bit, and then start talking about, yes, I'm the experienced DJ.
Yeah.
That obviously works. It works for John. Gets him.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, love that word, experienced.
You've got to move with where you are in the industry in relation to wedding couples. I think it's something that's going to evolve. I was probably too young at 18 in some examples. I think I'm kind of at the spot at the moment, but give it another 10, 20 years, you have to change your marketing. You can't be doing the same thing.
No, you're absolutely spot on. And we sort of touched on this sort of conversation when we had Dom play sax come on, and he was saying about the target market that he's currently getting are those Ibiza couples who met out there or met on holiday somewhere, blah, blah, blah. So they want those Ibiza tunes, and they want that from a sax point of view. So I get totally I totally understand where you're going with that.
It's got to be done. I mean, my music tastes are very much hip hop, dancehall, drum and bass, trance, quite heavy genres of music is what I like to play.
One extreme to the next.
Gone from a kids' party to trance music.
I love my model, and what I sell is, hey, look, we'll do the family thing at the beginning. Yeah. We'll do that until like 9ish. We'll all have some food, and then we're off. And I've done weddings on a Thursday before that have been from 11 till 2 in the morning, drum and bass. That's it. And as long as everyone's having a good time and you don't go too underground, you actually find the uncles and the aunties still stick around because they got enough beer. And that's what I enjoy. And I didn't get that from, I guess the point is I didn't get that from the hotel world where they were just giving me bookings, telling me who my client was going to be. Yeah. Now I'm very, I guess, picky, really. It's like, are we going to work together? Because if not, it's not going to be fair for you, because I'm not going to be having the time of my life. Yeah. And I want to have the time of my life because we are the luckiest people on the planet to be able to DJ. For me, as a full-time living, it's what dreams are made of. So why would you go for gigs that you're not going to enjoy and ruin everyone's night?
No, it's a really good point. Good point. And in relation to the work that you do, are you working with many solo acts in the sense of saxophonists or drummers, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so I do again, I'm probably too nice, but I don't do this kind of agency approach. It is, I have 2 or 3 people that I trust a lot, and I basically say to the couple, look, I'll work with them, I'll arrange them, but you pay for them directly, you deal with them contractually. He's great, she's great, and that's how it works out. I just don't like as a solo op, I think it's unfair for me to be trying to margin on their work.
It's a really admirable thing that you've just said there, because there will be a lot of people out there that are listening to this that from our community that would go, well, I've got the gig, so I will shave a bit off that for my benefit. So no, it's a nice thing that you've done from that point of view. And I think that's a nice approach also when you're talking to your clients, that you're not going, book everything for me and I'll sort everything else out. You go, look, these are the people I trust. I've worked with them many times. Go and see if they're all right. And if they're not, we can then go and try and source somebody else. But you're being really open and transparent, I think, from a business point of view. I think from that point of view. But yeah, really good. I like that. I like that.
It's the way to do it. I do it with dance floors. I've got a company that supply them. Very honest. It's just me. I can't be cleaning a dance floor one night and getting it out in a really good condition for you the next. And that, I guess, it supplements. People go, right, okay, you're really expensive, but you're being quite honest here. You're providing a certain type of service. Yeah, we're in. We trust you. Taking that approach has worked for me. Whereas I do appreciate that from a business perspective, it's probably a poor move. And also, it's not great necessarily for the client if they just want to pay one person and have one person responsible. So there are some good points and bad points to it.
So I have to admit, I mean, I know drummers, percussionists, I know saxophonists, I know singers and bands and all of that I work with. I'm a bit like you, Dan, but I would say to them, look, give these guys a call. Right, and then you deal with it. And the reason I do that is because if, for whatever reason, the saxophonist cannot make that date after he said he's going to be there, his car's broken down or whatever, that then pressure is then on me. Whereas if they deal with him direct, everything's dealt with him direct. That's not, I don't have to worry about that. That's not my problem now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the way I do mine, because it's just more hassle for me. If he don't turn up on the day, yeah, they look at me as if to say, well, you know.
Yeah, where is he?
Basically.
And it hits the nail on the head as to why I don't do the multi-op work as well, because that is another part of that world. And I have the utmost respect to anybody running a multi-op. If you're listening right now and you run a multi-op with 2 or 20 people in it, hats off to you, because I could not deal with the stress. Even having reliable people, of the car breaking down, of the partner being ill and needing to look after the little one, and all these things that we understand and get, just can't have happen in a business world. It just wasn't for me. So yeah, that's a very valid point.
Did it help though, starting with understanding the multi-op side of things, but did that help build relationships at such a young age with other DJs? And have you still link in with them, or was it a case of once it's done, it's done?
Not really. I'll be honest with you. Until I started this kind of new venture, I didn't speak to. I had 2 or 3 DJs that I was really close to, but because I came up in a kind of Facebook environment, I guess, at the age of 14, trying to find out information, I actually found it was quite toxic. So I stepped away at a really young age and went,
sometimes, Dan, it still is.
I don't want to borrow that. Left kind of that environment, had 2 or 3 people around me that were really, really good, really, really helpful, only wanted the best for me, didn't take advantage of me, and paid me quite well, I guess, for being a roadie and learning all this experience, and got some really good kind of experiences out of that. Whereas, the online community, which as a young person I really wanted to get involved with, whether it was me as a young 14-year-old being a 14-year-old potentially, but it was an environment where it was all very much, no, you're not going to be able to do this, you need to go out and do this, not this kind of rich environment of knowledge and things like that. And I was just like, nah. So, I got to speak to managers of big hotels and chains and stuff, but the DJ world, actually, it wasn't that attractive as a young kid.
You know what? You're right there, Dan. The social media side of it, we'll just take Facebook or we'll take TikTok or one of those. A new DJ, up-and-coming DJ, he's just got out. He was probably on a sunbed in Turkey as well. He's bought a load of gear, wants to start DJing. He'll do his first gig. He'll post a picture and say, do you like my rig? And that's when all the keyboard warriors come out. No, you need to do this. You got to do this. I would do this. But they're not constructive with it. They literally shoot them down. And have a look at my rig. This is what you should be doing. It's not about that. But my mum always said to me, if you've got nothing nice to say, then don't say anything. All right. This is why Matty and I probably don't talk all week. We only speak on a Monday.
No comment.
No comment. There we go. But you're right, Dan. There's a lot of backstabbers out there in the DJ community. There's a lot of toxicity in there as well. And it for someone new coming in, you're thinking, oh, what am I getting myself into here? And it is a shame. It is a shame.
I think I'm going to add to that in the sense of, I'd like to think that this podcast, other podcasts, the way that we are now looking at the community of DJs, it needs to be looked at in a different way. We need to be more supportive of each other. But I think what I did like about what you said is about you as a young person going in and helping other DJs. What advice would you give any young DJ looking to get into becoming a mobile DJ?
I'll be honest with you, use these tools that are now out there on social media, but don't necessarily concentrate on the groups, if that makes any sense. So these kind of group communities can be really tough. Whereas this podcast, other podcasts out there, I actually used to watch a gent called DJ Tutor, a guy from Wales, bog standard recording camera, just talked about how to set up some speakers and things like that. That's kind of how I got my knowledge, as well as working with others. And the other top tip, I guess, is do your market research around this country and really understand the different levels of DJ out there. If you're looking at a pub DJ and you think that's it, now go and have a look at a high-end wedding DJ and look at everything in between and try and work out what you enjoy as well as what your business model.
And where you sit in that market.
You'll have a USP straight away. If you are 16, so my little brother is just under that age. He's bought a little rig like I did, and he's struggling.
Going back into multi-op, everybody. Going back into multi-op here.
And never. I'd love him to do his thing, but I just can't do it.
Sorry, carry on. Your brother.
But he has looked at his market and gone, well, I'm only dealing with under 18 stuff, aren't I? And I'm going to smash that. Easy. Under 18, you've got none of these restrictions on being in venues with alcohol after certain times, any licensing rules, things like that. You can go and just take over all the kids' parties in your area and go for that 16 to 18. He doesn't want to be doing younger kids. He just wants that 16 to 18, drum and bass, drill, all this stuff, and go and do that. And then evolve with it. Try and maybe come out with someone like myself or any of you and just learn maybe about a different area. So go and do a pub, go and do a wedding, go and do a party, go and do a club if you can. I was really lucky to get snuck into a few clubs under the age of 18 to go and DJ in with a friend. We won't say which ones they are.
Behaviour on the Groove Junction, as always. We like to keep a straight line in relation to how we conduct ourselves down. But obviously, you were just at that point where you were 18 to be allowed in. Yeah, of course.
Obviously, straight in. And a fantastic experience. And it made me realise very quickly how to deal with drunk people and not to take things personally with them. And there's a whole load of experience you can get without, I guess my key point is don't necessarily jump into these groups. Just use tools and meet people in real life. That would be the two.
I think that one of the things you just said there, Dan, is don't take anything don't take everything so personally and all that. I mean, we as DJs and entertainers, we stand there and we're like the only sober people in the room. And they'll come up, they put this song on, and you say, I'll put it on in a little bit. No, put it on it. And you get a barrage of abuse. Mm-hmm. And my contract actually says that we will not tolerate any type of physical or verbal abuse. As a young DJ coming into this environment, they need to have they need to be ready for that. And if they've never encountered it before, it can be it can be off-putting. So we're hoping, aren't we, Matty? We're hoping that the Groove Junction and other podcasts out there will show that, this is a big learning curve for everybody, whether you're a seasoned or experienced DJ, or if you are just 29.
Someone in their prime.
In their prime, that's it.
In their prime.
Do you notice I danced around that age topic? I think I did it quite well, I think.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you did it, but we all read between the lines. Yeah, it's not a problem at all. We're gonna have a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about your current plans.
Nice. I look forward to seeing you after the break.
Well, he's just nicked my line.
He did.
Did he?
He nicked your line. Done.
I can't believe that. Well, Dan, you might
reload.
Do it, Dan.
He's done the action. That's it, mate. I'm out.
See you after the break. Welcome back from that very short break, John. Thanks for coming back, because I didn't think you were at one point.
No. I thought I might as well
show up.
I was sticked on the register when I got here, and I thought I haven't got a note from my mum yet.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
We're talking to Dan Ross from Gloucestershire Discos, but Dan, is, and I want to get into where you're going with this because I haven't got the backstory of this, but I know for a fact that you are currently in development stage of a brand new CRM.
Yes.
John, explain what a CRM is for our listeners. Putting him on the spot.
Yeah, it did a little bit put me on the spot. So basically, a CRM is the way I see it, the way I use it is it's a filing system for DJs, if you like.
Okay,
That's how
and
I'd
what
like
does
to use it.
CRM stand for?
Something management. Is that right, Dan?
Relationship management, yeah.
Relationship. Yeah, see, I
So-
don't do well with relationship.
I guess a good point to start is
Go on.
Planning Beats is not a CRM.
So now we're learning. Just make a note of that. Okay,
So-
we're learning.
CRMs are customer relationship management tools. They are something that you can basically sell to a client to. You can chase a lead and things like that. And yes, you can also deal with some like payments and contracts after that. But Planning Beats is built for DJs. So it is actually a CRM and event planning tool. It's
Okay.
two things combined because this has a central hub for your client to essentially go and tell you what music they want. They can answer questions about their wedding, their party, things like that. They can add timelines in there. So it's more of a event planning tool versus just a CRM, those kind of
Okay.
standard terminologies we all know.
Well, I'm pleased we've cleared that up straight away because you must be annoyed as hell when everyone calls it a CRM. It's not a CRM. It's a planning of event.
Yeah, it's
application.
It's hard. I want to come up with a new name for it, but I haven't quite got there yet. I have been trying.
Answers in the comments. Please comment on YouTube and all the platforms. We want to know. Come up with a new name, not CRM, not planner, not anything. Yeah, anyway, you got the gist of it.
Exactly that.
So first and foremost, why did you come up with, or how did you want to come up with Planning Beats?
Okay, so the initial concept of this was I am still spending £160 a month on two softwares to run my business. Okay, so you've got the CRM side and the sales, and then I've got a tool that deals with all the event planning and music and stuff like that. And I realized very quickly that I was one of the only DJs, there's a few of us now, but really one of the only DJs in the UK that had this, because we're probably one of the only ones that could have afforded it based on how much I charge.
Yeah.
And it just felt wrong in terms of this entire system is perfect, the way this works, but it's split over two systems. One of them's not even industry specific. One of them is, but is horrendously expensive in our UK term of costs anyway.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, why don't we just get them both, put them into something that is one price and a reasonable price for a DJ as young as my brother, if we go back to that, who could implement it very quickly in his business. So my £160 cost is going to become £24.50.
Wow.
And it's going to do more and all be DJ bespoke and in one place. So
Okay, so just so I'm clear on this, and our listeners are potentially clear on this. So you have created a platform where you can manage all of the business sides of a lead, a contract, a quotation, pricing, the whole shebang. But also, you've also got attached to that part of the application, the bridegroom, party organizer, whatever the event is, vendors can literally pull in exactly what they want, how they want it, when they want it, and what music you're going to play during it.
Yeah, so this is a central hub. To put it into perspective, because of the multi-op scenario that I've been through,
yes,
you can manage equipment check-in and check-out. You can track what venue the equipment's at. You can tell all your staff have got different logins and things like that. So it's built for solo and multi-ops.
Right, okay, really interesting, yeah.
With a key thing that, like equipment, I wouldn't use. I don't need equipment tracking. I know where it is. It's in my van. So it's not detrimental. It doesn't mean that you have to.
CCTV, is the van still there? Yeah,
so whereas I've got a company down the road from me that's got like 15 DJs out, and he needs to know on a Monday when something's not come back, he can very quickly go and see who had it, where was it, when was it checked in, when was it checked out, who was it by, all that kind of stuff. So it's a system that has, I guess the key thing is, instead of me building something that I think is right, I spent 6 to 8 months, and in fact are still doing it now, speaking to DJs across about 8 different countries with different size businesses, going, what do you hate and what do you love about your current systems? Instead of me going, hey, I built this for me and my company.
Does anyone want to get on board?
Yeah, I reckon I can make a few quid out of this. Let's all have a go. Does anybody want to buy it?
Okay.
And nobody, in my experience, I might be wrong, let me know in the comments if there's comments available, but nobody's done it like this before. Nobody has actually gone, here's the rough idea. What do you all think of it? And that approach has made for some amazing changes in terms of what this concept was.
So ultimately, there is not a platform out there at all, a single one-stop shop that does all of this.
Not that is, I should caveat this. I'm not going to say names, but there is one that looks like you've just loaded Windows 95. That is probably going to be way more powerful than we'll ever be, and that is purely because of how complex it is. So there's a fine balance when you build something like this, that you need to understand what everybody needs. You need to understand that not many people understand computers particularly well and software. And then you need to find the balance in the actual UI, so what the software looks like and how you go and tweak all these settings. And that is the key to success.
That is 100% the key. So there's the amount of platforms that I've walked away from because they're not user friendly enough, that aren't as, and it's not a case of them being basic, because I'm a bit of an old boy. I'm very, I'm up to speed with what I'm doing in computers. I have to edit John every week on the podcast, which takes
a while. Takes
a good chunk of my week. So I'm pretty much
getting such a ribbing today. What's that?
I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad. No, this is.
It's part of the show.
Standard.
We've got our levels and we're at them. But no, what I like about what you've done is that, and I've only looked at it from the Facebook element of where you're currently pushing this at this moment in time in relation to your testing and, reach at this moment in time. But I like the simple element of tracking stuff. I like the simple approach to drag this here, drop this here, and you've got what you need, and I like that. It's simple and easy, and it doesn't. There's no
what you need.
Yeah, I've got other things to be getting on in my life, and I think John's desperate to come in here. I think to be honest, this comes back to current lifestyles. We're constantly on our phones, swipe. If it hasn't drawn my attention within 2-3 seconds, I'm on to the next thing constantly, and that's exactly the same with platforms. If it's not doing what I want to do, I'm going to move on. I'm going to go somewhere else.
So
and it's finding that balance.
I'll caveat that with the one thing that we really are trying to drill down, and is all we really are doing at the moment, is we've got this inner circle discussion groups. Some quick numbers, 1,000 plus have pre-subscribed to help test, and we've got 550, 600 in this group. And in this group, it's all about me going, hey, this is where we're at the moment. Here is how the song limits work for when clients want to import a Spotify playlist. You set it to 30. They want to try and input 60. This is what it's going to tell them. What do you think? And it's all about that communication and actually listening. If you're going to do something in such a niche market, you can't understand or believe that you're the only person that knows what's best. And in fact, I've learned so much about running businesses of all different scales in different countries just by talking to all these DJs.
So what countries are we talking?
So we've actually sold already. So because of the approach I took, we did like an early discount offer. Before we'd even started building the platform, it was all just designs. And we sold in the UK, America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So we have clients sat in all of those countries already, waiting for this. And they're part of the testing, kind of pre-completion testing. And then by the end of next month, so May 25, that will be everybody. So we're just going to open the doors to the world and go, look, we're not quite finished yet. We've got a few more really cool features to put in, but you can run your business on this now. Come and have a play. And it's just a case of, right, just tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and we will build a plan out to actually get that into the system and make it happen, instead of just locking down, oh, we've spent this much, we'll try and make it into a business model. For me, it's just plow all the money. My dad, who's the finance director of this company, won't like this, but he knows my vision is just to plow all the cash back into it and grow it.
We can mute that out. Don't worry. We can edit that out. He doesn't need to know. Honestly, it's fine.
It is one of those, to be successful, even in your DJ business, you put a lot back into it in those first few years. You keep upgrading equipment. You should then stop and actually earn some money. There is a point where you do need to, as a DJ, like there's a tip for any DJ out there: stop spending all your money on kit. But that's another topic. And then literally,
I didn't realise he spoke a different language as well, Matt. What's that about?
So rude.
You got to have half an eye on the profit margins as a DJ. But anyway, yeah, that kind of concept of, look, we'll just keep investing in this because I want to use it as a working DJ. I want to keep up with the trend. I want to make my life a lot easier, and therefore, hopefully, everybody else's as well.
Sounds good.
It sounds really good. So for people that are on said platform that you mentioned or didn't mention and other platforms, your advice to them to then jump on Planning Beats would be what?
So come in during this testing period. We're just going to go, look, you can have this for free for a couple of months. Come in, have a look around. If you want, you can play with like the import features where you can actually bulk import your data from your other systems, which I think is a really key thing. And we're teeing up a company that you can also pay to do that, because we realized quickly that was the pain point. If I'm honest with you, moving from A to B, it's moving the data. So we'll help with that. We'll give you some guidance and tutorials, but really it's getting in here and understanding our client portal. So our client portal, instead of having, here's your forms, here's your music list, and here's your timeline, it's built into chunks. So you have a section called First Dance. You set some song limits on there, or you turn the songs off, turn the questions off, do whatever you want. And you can say, right, one song in here, add whatever questions you want. And from a client's experience, they can be on their phone and go, right, I'm just going to have a look at this one section today, add a song, answer a question, I'll come back to that another day. Whereas all the current systems, bar one, is teed up for this expansive form. If you're doing an all-day wedding, you're talking 100+ questions. And the client is expected to sit down and do this all at once. We're meant to be the fun bit. That is not fun. So breaking it into chunks for them not only makes it easier for them when it comes to things like the event PDF exporting, and there's a tool in there that will take all the music requests from your client, find them on your computer and build them into a playlist file to put into your DJ software. That is then done in chunks. So if you want to have general music requests or drum and bass later on in the evening, like I was saying, you can split it down into that, export these playlists out to your DJ software, out to Spotify, all these types of things.
So you're saying I was going to say, so for us as the user, if you like, send out to our customers, we can change everything within this Planning Beats. We can change it. And how long do you think that is going to take?
To actually do that,
to set it up at the start. So you're a new user and you want to get on board, but you've got to make some changes. How long would you say roughly? Thereabouts.
I'd say it depends how in depth you are with your business and how far you want to go with the automations. It could be a day, it could be a week. It really is that wide. Now, one thing we're going to do to speed a lot of this up is you will find a client portal template that I have already made as the admin of Planning Beats that everybody can access, copy into their system and tweak it. So instead of having to start from a blank canvas, same with the brochures that you send to your clients, there's going to be, if you want, a 5-page web page that they can go on their phone that shows them tutorials, and they can pick their main service and they can pick their extra services. All these types of templates are going to be pre-done so you can tweak. With the automations, we'll do something similar, but it really is down to how you work. And I guess maybe a top tip for anybody using a CRM or not is, have you ever written down your business's workflow? Very boring, but do you actually know the steps that you take a client through? Have you ever written it down?
Well, I've got a workflow on the CRM system that I use, so I do know what I know the steps that like my customer's going to get and see, and what my system does for me. So I'm quite fortunate with that one. But there are a lot of people out there that still don't use CRMs.
No, there isn't. I think the difficult bit is that it doesn't matter if you wholly rely on 100% on your CRM, like to do everything. For me, and mine is, mine is literally exactly how I want it, but I still have to go in there and do things because I still want to have that control. I still want to be, not that I'm a control freak, John, am I?
Not much. Not
No,
much.
but I want to have that control in relation that I haven't missed anything.
Yeah.
And it's having the confidence of that application to go, as soon as that response has come in or that lead has come in and it's action, we've gone from one stage to the next stage to the next stage, everything's happening. And that's the biggest thing for me, is having the confidence in an application for me to go, I'll just sit back and wait now because I'm done.
I wouldn't recommend it. If I know that some people out there really want this like full automation. I don't even touch my business.
Yeah.
But in most cases, with what we do, if you're, regardless of whether you're in the wedding world or not, you need to have some sort of connection with your client. Now, it can help give a false sense of security to the client that this is, if you've got automations firing out every 2 minutes, they feel like you're all over it. But for you as a business owner, I'd say you have to trust the logic in the system. So Planning Beast will not let you double book. It will not let you delete a piece of equipment or a service that is assigned to a booking because it would ruin the system. There's lots of clever logic to save you, I guess. But at the same time, you can take that automation out in our workflows and actually put manual push buttons in, because I get it. So instead of this email automatically going out 10 days before, it's just an email sat in a queue where you, when you're ready, hit go. So it's there, it's written, it's in the flow, you know what's next. And I guess even if you're not using a CRM, just as a DJ, honestly, write down that workflow, because that will give you a sense of control and security. If you actually know the process that you're taking your client from A to B, right the way, for me, to 2 years down the line where I'm going, hey, happy second wedding anniversary, is a photo of the wedding or something like that. Just have what you want to do with each of your clients' types, maybe wedding, parties. You might have a venue that has a different route of getting them from A to B. Do that, because it will just give you so much more feeling of control, I think.
So how are you going to tempt people that are on CRMs over to yours?
I'll be honest with you. I think the look of it is going to do it for most. And the fact that you can use it on the phone and the mobile, we're at a £24.50 a month price point. Should say that's for solo ops. We do charge an extra couple of quid per extra staff member for multi-ops. But even that was done with a logical perspective and kind of fairness in mind. Is I'm paying so much because if I want to access premium features, I need an account that has 20 staff members, and then I can get all the singing and dancing automations. It's not how the DJ world works. So solo op starts here, and then if you earn more and you have more staff and you need more out of the system, you pay a little bit more because it costs us more to run your account. So it's trying to be fair with it. I think the UI will do it, and there's a lot of cool features which I'll send you some videos over after, which you might be able to embed here and there as we're speaking.
I'll try.
It's very much, as an example, really cool feature. You can take any Spotify playlist that exists on Spotify, and you can show it to the client when they start searching for songs in that section. So if it's called First Dance, you quickly tap in a few First Dance names, find these playlists, hit add to that section, and instead of just going into a search bar, they've now got all the latest Spotify playlists in front of them specific to First Dance. Now, if you go and do that for drum and bass or a history hour or something like that, you can make this thing the ultimate experience for your client. And for me, although it needs to run the DJ business, that's kind of what it's there for, this is all about the client experience and allowing you to shout about it to then hopefully level up your company and charge more.
Love it. I love the idea of it. And so probably the biggest, I mean, you've touched on the price side of things. What's your timeline now? Where are you at?
Timeline hit a massive road bump. We should have been done by now, but typical software development. And one thing I underestimated about listening to everyone is it was going to take a little bit longer.
And your dad.
Yeah, well, he's not too bad. He's not too bad. So we're looking at May at the moment, kind of back end of May to start the testing. You could run your business on that and you can have it for free. We're then adding the automations, the music automations, custom branding. So you can change all the colors, the logo, the URL. So it's just your your company. And one other thing that completely escapes my mind, but is very important, web forms. That's it. So you can embed web forms on your website, so it automates that process. And that's going to be around about August time, I think. Beginning of August is where we're hoping. So what's the realization there from the issues that we've just with software development? It's a great time to launch a CRM, isn't it? So watch this space. If you're not in the group already, jump on our website, planningbeats.com, and you can just kind of stay up to date with all the updates and things. But we are going to do another discount offer, and we are highly likely going to do a extended period of free use, because who on earth's moving in the middle of August? The idea behind that is that you can just check it out in your own time. You can go, actually, this thing, I need to do this, but when? So we're going to come up with a mechanism, again, that's based on fairness. When the wedding season ends, that you can come in and do this at your own pace, basically. It's not a case of, you've got like a 14-day free trial and, oh my gosh, I need to move everything from A to B and this is pressure and I don't want to do it. It's scary. We're going to try and make that process, because of the position we're in as a startup, we can do it as well. Just make that a longer, more easygoing process. And this is just the way to be. Just make it easy and make it stress-free, because it's hard. It depends how many gigs you've got, but if you've got 100 gigs and you now need to move that data, you need to come up with when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it, and we'll help and support with that. But
that's the challenge. I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing for most DJs. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I know for myself that I'm already taking bookings for 2027. So the longer you leave it to join it, the more stuff you're going to have to move over. So I can see that being like one of the questions on a lot of DJs' mind. I've got like 100 to 150 events to move over. But did you say you're in sort of looking to partnership with someone that could possibly do it for you?
Yeah, so there is a company that has understood the DJ industry and worked with CRMs for years. Anybody that is now knows what they're on about with certain CRMs will know who I'm talking about, but I won't name drop at this very moment in time, because stuff needs to be confirmed. But it is a case of, they understand the industry, they understand that you need to move the data from A to B, and they will do it for you. And the good bit about them is they are also very savvy in terms of sales, how to set automation flows up. So if you're really out of touch with kind of these types of systems and you're stepping into it for the first time, you can't be bothered to listen and watch me on a tutorial, that person will be able to take you just from A to B and do it for you. The only, I guess, caveat I'd say to your point, John, was it doesn't matter when you move CRMs, you're always going to have 100, 150 bookings in most cases, if you're set up. And you need to make a decision as a DJ. Does this financially improve my business, make my life easier? For me, this is a bit like the rig. You try and make your rig look good. You also want your sales process to look good as well, because it's your first impression. And it should save you loads of time, but it should look 10 out of 10. We're in 2025, and some of these systems look like they were built before I was born, and we were on dial-up, and it's crazy.
Nothing wrong with dial-up, Dan. There's nothing wrong with dial-up.
I was just about around using computers when dial-up was around. It was not a fun experience at any stretch. One computer in the house, and somebody makes a phone call, and that's it. But yeah, it's trying to. I guess the core element of what I wanted to do was give a cheap option that is specific to our industry. And I don't want to alienate global customers here, but I did the price point really around the UK market. So younger DJs can get into this. And even with only 20 gigs, because I think that's when it gets complex, 20 gigs. And it's like, oh, this is actually a bit to manage. You make that realization that you need some sort of help. They can jump onto this straight away and go, actually, this is a reasonable investment. Whereas for me to meet this quality, I'm paying 160, soon to be 260 odd pound a month when the other platform doubles its price.
And that's it makes total sense to anyone in the financial state of what you're going to get and what you're saying that you're hoping to deliver on. And I think ultimately, it's really fair, really fair from a business point of view. You started this conversation off within this interview about, as a multi-op going in, and you were, putting people in at 50-50. That's exactly what you're even doing now, Dan, to a point that you are being really fair with your pricing on that. And we wish you
Absolutely.
massive success with this.
Thank you.
And once you get off the ground and things start running later on this year, come back on and please let us know how it's going for you, and we can give everyone a bit of an update. And hopefully by then, if it hasn't already taken off, the fact that you are then, I think that's the biggest worry for people. Okay, I'm going to speak for me. It's a big worry for me, is the sense of I'm unsure of the platform because it's not there yet. There's obviously testing areas and everything else, but until it lands, I'm like, well, shall I just wait and see what happens?
100%.
I get that. That's my view on it. But like the way you've explained it and what you get for what you're getting, what you're paying for is massive.
I'll give you another, really, again, we'll be fair, I'm not going to hide this bit, but the other thing to consider for any CRM, and I had this conversation with someone a while ago, because there are a few of them popping up, and if you're going to invest in a CRM, right, you need to understand that whoever is running that is not running it as a side hustle and is running it as a business, because you are in essence putting your life into this. There's no two ways about it. If it goes into liquidation, it's game over, because everybody's lost their data. I would suggest, again, I won't name names, and it's not even our industry specific, but there are quite a few that are side hustle based. It's a coder that knows what they're doing and has done this on the side, whereas I don't know. I'm not a coder. Probably should have started there. We have employed a big company with lots of people to build this properly and treat it as a global company, which is why we went straight for international sales. We don't have servers sat in this office here. I have a server company based in London that also do the air traffic control for Gatwick. This is kind of the levels.
Confused.
And anywhere anytime soon, are they?
And that was because, well, what are the options here? We can go really cheap and like how you host your website, but what do I actually want as a DJ? So I think that's a really cool consideration. Do your research. And it's one of the questions I've been asked many a time on the group is, Dan, it's just you and your old man. That's all we can see. And it's like, no, that we're running the company and investing. We actually have a huge team behind us, and actually the investment is coming from UK small startup, and as we get off again, we'll be going for grants and bigger investment pots to actually put other things. AI needs to come quite quickly into this, and all that type of stuff. So I guess another key consideration is with anything you do, but definitely your CRM, is this a fully fledged business? And I guess I'd understand the concern that you just said, was the point that I was getting to, is it's not there yet, Dan, so not too sure about this, and is why we're going to do this kind of extended free period so people can come on and go, actually, this is awesome, and it's priced at that. And I'll be honest with you, it also helps us with the investment. So the more people we get on to test, we can go, right, we have this amount of people that are interested. It helps with the figures, the numbers. We go get more investment. We make this thing bigger. And that is what the game is here, is to not take over the market. Right. You never do that. But it's make this a big, proper business for our industry, because otherwise it will just stay where it is, as many of the others have. I guess it's a really hard world to be in, software world. It's a damn sight more difficult than DJ world.
And to be fair, it's the support that you, by setting this up, the support that you're showing the DJing community from a mobile perspective and multi-ops by setting this up, it speaks massive volumes.
It speaks volumes
for you and your dad as individuals, but you in the sense of, you saw that something was needed and you've really jumped on it, which is great. And I think we should be, from the community, and we talk about the DJ community a lot, we should be supporting one of our own for this. So if you haven't looked at it, go onto the website, go check it out, register, have that free look that Dan's just mentioned, and hopefully the free stuff it's not costing you anything.
The only thing I would say is that free stuff isn't coming until that May time. So it's only the early adopters in now. And that, as I say, that free point, you're going to be able to run your business on it. That will be a stable. It's not like, oh, this thing is a bit naff. It's going to be a stable point. It's got all the logic in there. It looks good. Your customer can use it on their mobile. I need to get out of the softwares I'm in, which is why I need this thing to be stable, because it's costing me too much a month.
That's why we need May. We need it in May.
Yeah. So it really is a case of just jot your email down. As soon as it's there, we'll ping over a link, sign up, mess around, send me emails going, and this is what I want is, hey, Dan, this bit's rubbish. Awesome. Love that feedback. We're going to go and fix that now. So that is the key thing around where we're at the moment. And then, come May, get that free period out. And then, I think once we're up in August, I think that will probably continue for a little bit just to get us out of wedding season.
Love that, Dan. All the details are in the descriptions. They have been pinging up on the screen as well whilst we've been talking as well. So go check out Planning Beats, see what's on offer, and look out for those free elements to the platform when they come later on in May. Fingers crossed for you, Dan. Thanks for joining us on the Go.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And to be honest, it's been a bit of an eye opener. Actually, I've learned a little bit tonight. I've learned that John doesn't know what CRM stands for.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't too geeky. I was always very, very aware of that it is like a bit of a. We'd rather be talking flashy lights and smoke machines, but.
No, I mean, to be fair, Dan, the Groove Junction isn't just about the flashy lights and what speakers you use. We're trying to get the message out in all different areas, and CRM is a big player in that.
We also need a new name for it. We can't just keep calling it CRM.
Yeah, CRM. It's old school.
Really upset Dan if we keep doing that.
Yeah, there you go. Comment.
I'll take that. My current stance is like the DJ's cockpit, something like that, but it's a bit cheesy.
Cockpit.
And I'm going to say that after a few beers, Dan.
Yeah, okay, fair point. So any recommendations for that, let me know.
Lovely stuff. Thanks, Dan, for joining us on this week's The Groove Junction. We'll have you back later on this year for a bit of an update. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Dan.
Bye.
Cheers, thank you.
What a nice guy Dan is.
I'll tell you, a real nice guy.
And
really
what
nice
I like is that even from a young age, when he was doing the multi-op stuff, he was really level-headed about it and the prices that he was charging, etc. And it looks like he's continued that process with the CRM / not a CRM company that he's setting up, and he's in. Is it beta phase? Is it called a beta?
I think it's a beta phase, isn't it? He's got a few people lined up to beta to, it's a bit like what Apple do, isn't it? When they do the testing and all that. Yeah. Sounds really good. Sounds really, really good. It really does.
It does. And we wish him all the best with it.
Absolutely.
And we're getting back in, see how things are going and how things are progressing later on.
It would be interesting to know, and you can write this in the comments as well. What do people use? Do people use a CRM? Do people use, a diary, write everything down, pen and paper? Do they use Excel or Word or whatever? It'd be interesting to know what people use, because I use a CRM.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, let's have a drop it in.
I'd love to see it, what you think, whether you are using it, whether you don't use one, whether you've got the tried and tested pen and paper, or you've got a nice little spreadsheet running. Whatever it is, let us know what you've got. It would be good to know. And I didn't
even know what a CRM was until last year.
Well,
no idea.
You still don't know what a CRM now stands for.
I know what CRM is, I just don't know what it stands for. It's a customer relationship management.
There you go.
There you go. See, smashed that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well done.
Yeah, there you go.
Good that you've done your research before we got onto the interview tonight.
Mate, you proper throw me a curveball. We'll say it's unscripted. I don't know what we're going to talk. Well, I know roughly what we're going to talk about.
Listen, you need to start, pulling up, getting the old big boy boots on and start, produce.
How can I do that when it's an unscripted podcast?
It's not an unscripted podcast.
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean, you make out it is, but you've got a notebook. You've got stuff that you want to talk about in your notebook.
Mate, I haven't got. This is not a notebook. This is an Easter activity book. All right.
Anyway, we wish Dan all the best with it.
Yeah, we do.
Back on. But yeah, if you've got any comments about the pod, please put them in. And if you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and add some comments, and also hit the like button for me, and also hit the subscribe button. We'd love to increase our little following that we've got.
Yeah, we would
on YouTube. So go and hit
that. Follow, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff.
Do all of that.
Do none of the nasty stuff.
Don't do the nasty stuff online. Do the good stuff.
Share it, mate. Sharing's caring.
Oh, hold on a minute. I've got a sound thing for that. Where is it? Oh, see, you say these things.
Right, see? It just goes to seal.
Not even prepared. Hold it is. Hold on.
Sharing. is caring.
There you go. There it is.
It just solidifies my point, the fact that this is unscripted.
That's me pressing the buttons, but I can edit around that.
If you knew if you knew I was going to say that, you would have been poised, ready. But you didn't know because it's not scripted.
Sorry, John.
Global.
Yeah, there you go. They're all there. They're all there.
Dear.
What you got coming up, John?
Actually, I've got a busy week as it goes. So, Good Friday, all day. I'm doing an Easter egg hunt for 600 children. Yeah, it's going to be a big day. So there's like Easter egg hunt and activities and all of that. So that's in the daytime. Then I've got an 18th in the evening. Looking forward to that one. Open playlist, play what I like. The odd request maybe in the evening, but crack on.
Baby Shark all night then?
Baby Shark, the dance remix, I think. We'll have a bit of that. And then another children's party, which is a joint birthday party on Saturday, and Sunday's family day.
Nice.
Well, I say it's family day. It's not really family day. I'm not doing anything. Literally don't plan on doing anything. It's Easter Sunday.
Down.
Oh, what?
Hold the sofa down.
I will do it. I'll have a good go at it.
Yeah, do it.
I kind of see that as a bit of a mission now.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. I'll be all over that like baked beans on toast, mate.
You are every week.
Every afternoon, mate, as soon as I finish work.
Exactly.
What about you? You got a busy week coming up? Or?
Mate, nothing. No work this weekend. I'm seeing family. Actually, I'm heading down to the southwest, down to Devon, Exeter, to go and see my sister. And I might even pop out for a drink and see the old Light Tech. Everyone knows the Light Tech if you follow me on social media.
Love the Light Tech.
Love the Light Tech. But yes.
Take him a packet of Haribo. He loves a Haribo.
He does. So do I. But there you go. Maybe I won't give him because I want to keep it for myself.
Well, you like the Tang Fastics, the orange ones, and he likes the red ones.
That's very true. But yeah, I'm heading down there for a bit of a family weekend. So.
Oh, good. Well, I hope the weather's nice, and I hope you have fun.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
I was being serious as well.
Yeah, because the weather's not been so great for me recently. Holiday and
the UK's been all right. To be fair,
the UK's been all right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, brilliant. On that,
of course, yeah, he was Turkey. It was a bit rainy.
Yeah. I was in Turkey and it rained. Yeah.
Rained every day. Rained every day.
Yes, bar one. But we're going over old ground. No one wants to know that. No one wants to listen to that.
You put it all over social media, Matt.
Yeah, I did. On that note, thank you everyone for watching and listening to this week's edition of the Groove Junction. My name's DJ Matty F, and that is the main man, John Colley, alongside me. We have been the Groove Junction. Thank you for joining us. We will see you same time, same place next week when the next week's podcast drops on Friday, as they always do. Don't forget to go
10 a.m.
10 a.m. it does, yes. UK time, that is 10 a.m. UK time. Don't forget to go and like us. Don't forget to subscribe to us, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. Go and do that. And also, wherever you're getting your podcasts, go and hit that follow button. And then you'll also get notifications of when the new pods land, which is, John, Friday
10 a.m. UK time.
There you go, 10 a.m. UK time. Thanks for joining, everyone. We will see you same time, same place next week.